A very pleasant good afternoon and happy Sunday to you all. Welcome back to the LPGA Tour of Korea. It is time for the fourth and final round of the SK Network's SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic, where for the third to last time in the year 2021, we will be crowning a champion on tour here today. A look at the leaderboard as we pick up our coverage today. Our featured group, the final group to tee off, is nearly through the midway mark of the round, almost completed their time on the East Course here at the Pinks Golf Club, and it is Kim Yo-ju with a 3-stroke lead over Ho Da-bin and Lee So-young. She is 2 under for the day. Lee So-young, trying to battle her way back into contention, is at 4 under par. She is 3 holes further forward down the course. Let's not waste any time and get out to the greens. Here she is at the 9th hole. It is Lee Ga-young. She is 1 under for the day, 8 under combined for the tournament. A tap in finish for birdie. Vaults her up to 8 under par. Her first birdie of the round comes at the last hole of her opening 9. Lee So-young at 4 under as we pick up with her second shot from the fairway. Battling the wind to land on the green. Back middle is where she rolls to a stop with a left central pin location on the day. Here's Jung at 6 under par, her third shot at 10. Oh, she's going to get a very nice spin back towards the right side. Will leave herself with about a meter for her birdie. Came oh so close last week. She is 6 strokes back. Oh, anything can happen on the back 9, especially if she can put together a run of birdies. Park Ji-young, she is 2 under for the day, playing her third at 10 as well. She's 71 meters out from the fairway to the green. On average, that leaves 2.4 meters. She's a little bit hesitant as she watches that roll. Keeps it within 6 or 7 feet. Slightly downhill putt for birdie will be her next. Well, there's no secret the wind will be playing a factor again here today. Intermittent clouds, feeling just below 20 degrees, but the wind is steady at 5.2 meters per second. In many areas of the course, the headwind right now for our leader, Kim Yo-ju, nearly 2 meters per second, back at her and right to left as well. Nearly the exact center of the green, both in terms of depth and length as she plays her approach. And that is the mark of someone who could very well end the day as champion. Lovely touch to set up a birdie. Now Ho Da-bin. Starts it right, but the wind and the natural draw could keep her in close, and it does. She's going to come to rest a few inches off of the fringe. She too will be putting for birdie. An even par round. Little bit disappointing, though. When the leader's only at 2 under in the same amount of holes, you know the course is playing tough. Chana Ri should be highlighted. She is at 6 under, a 77 yesterday, but she's battled her way back into a tie for 14th at the minute. With just a few holes left in her round. A very admirable finish. And Yuhei Ran, who is the third and final member of our featured group, well, it's a good attempt and birdie a little bit deeper. The end result after her approach, and it will be a 2-putt kind of hole. Only one bogey on the round, 5 birdies as she has mounted this climb up the leaderboard. Now through 11 of her 18 holes. Yue Ran will be the first to play for birdie at the par 5 ninth. Very tricky break. Looks like she had anticipated that staying much straighter than it did as a result, so she will let that opportunity for a birdie slip. It is 3 consecutive pars. She is still even for her round. Heading to the 10th tee. Now, Jung for birdie at 10. A lip out and she stays away, so it'll be a 2-putt scenario for her as well. 2 birdies on the day at 1 and 9. She starts her back 9 with a par. Hoda Bean's turn. Well, we just got the blueprint. She's going to need to start this a few feet to our left, her right of the hole. We control ever important here too as she looks to get to 10 under. Similar end product. Snap break immediately to the left. Well, the greens are playing incredibly difficult, as the first 8 minutes would suggest here on tour. These putts from a range of 5 or 6 feet, which are usually more often than not holed out, have been coming back to bite the field. Jung, the latest to miss a look at birdie.
Nice body.
Kim Yo-ju had no trouble with the 9th. 4th birdie and now extends her lead to 4 strokes as she reaches 13 under par. Heading to hole number 10. She is very much in the driver's seat. It definitely feels like this is her tournament to lose. Isomi, her second at 11. From just off the fairway into the second cut. Right at the cup, she's going to bounce twice and slow up, and that is all but a guaranteed birdie after a fantastic approach from her. Well, it is 3 consecutive pars for Hoda Bean. 4 pars and 5 holes with a bogey in the mix there as well. At the midway mark of her round, she is still even at 9 under. Currently tied in runner-up position with SEOKYUNG. Park Ji-young 2 under for the day, the first of 4 players tied at 8 under par. Mi, she's at 7 under, but only for a moment. She'll be into a tie for 8th in no time after a great approach. Nahi Yun started the day at 6 under. She is down to 5 after a bogey through her round. We'll be back to the course in a few moments right after this. Above the course, the clouds are rolling in, though there is no rain in the forecast, and I can say that with a lot more confidence than I could yesterday. Here is Mi, ready to reap the benefits after a fantastic approach. It is birdie at 11. That takes her to 8 under par. Of everyone inside of the top 5 on the money list, And the points, Iso Mi having the most productive weekend of them all. Jung, who's holding down the second spots in the season earnings and points, trailing only Peng Min-ji, also with a respectable round in progress. She is 2 back of Iso Mi now. A couple of holes into her back 9. It is the first hole of the back 9 for a featured group. Here's Hoda Bin. That is a perfectly shaped second shot with the wood, dead center of the fairway. While this result holds, it will be the third second place finish of Hoda Bin's career. She is chasing that elusive first win. Still just 23 years of age, 129th in the world Rolex rankings, her best mark of this season. Yuhei Ran, even younger in her career, just 20 years old, coming to the tour in 2019. She already has 1 win on the season. She's also won twice at the Jeju Samdasu Masters. She clearly loves playing on the island here. Another fantastic finish that she is lined up for. 5 back of Kim Yo-ju as she begins. Her 4th and final journey through the West Course. It is birdies on the 1st, 5th, 6th, and 9th holes so far today. She bogeyed the par 4 7th. She too follows suit into the fairway. 2 of her 3 previous rounds here at number 10, she has birdied. Now SEOKYUNG, who is currently trying to put a little bit of space between herself and Hoda Bin and work her way ever closer to Kim Yo-ju. With shots like that, she will be able to achieve that mission. Her swing seems to be happening as if you were watching it on fast forward. It's so quick, the mechanics and everything. Sometimes she swings herself out of her shoes, but more often than not, it's finishing up really positively. And finishing on a positive is what Park Young-kyung is trying to do here. It was just one of those weekends, unfortunately for her. Even on the day, her only real poor round was in round number 2, where she was 2 over with a 74, 1 under in round number 1, and looking like she will be shooting a consecutive 72. And there's a birdie, and it is now back-to-back. The 2 par 5s in a row, 9 and 10, and she is up joining the fray at 9 under as well. Well, this to finalize her round of 72. Rattles it in. She will finish the day at the minute in a tie for 38th position. Birdie 17, bogey 6th. All in even for a combined tournament score of 289 strokes. Now Iso Mi from 128 meters out. A bogey here in round 2, but other than that, all birdies. Not quite as close this time. She'll roll a little bit back slightly towards the left edge of the hole, though she will be putting for birdie once again. 5 back as she makes her way down the 12th fairway. Back to the 10th. Yuhei ran to shoot first. She bogeyed her third hole, birdied the sixth. All pars aside from that. She is on the green with her third. She's had some success both Thursday and Saturday here with birdies. Her greens in regulation have been one of the calling cards of her season. She is fourth at 77.92%. She has played in each and every one of the 26 events on tour. Not many players have been able to say that. First 2 rounds, she only missed 1 green per day. Yesterday, a little bit slower at 3 misses. Odabine with a healthy divot as she strikes this ball to perfection. This will be a simple look at birdie. She's been chasing that 10 under par mark for oh so long. She was there briefly at the end of the 4th hole, then a bogey at the 6th to take her back down to where she sits right now at 9 under. If Kim Yo-ju isn't able to join her with a really close approach, Odabine could be within 3 by hole's end, and maybe even closer. Kim Yo-ju has found the sand. Here's Emi Jung at the 11th as she looks for a birdie to take her to 7 under par, averaging 1.6 putts per hole. She only needs 1 here. 2 under round in progress. She is 6 back of the lead as it stands. Trying to string together a good run on her way back in. SEOKYUNG does make it to 10 under par with her 2nd birdie already of the back 9, off to a scorching hot start. While our season leaders entering this event start with the points list. It's Peng Min-ji on 657 points, 107 clear of Emi Jung. That gap will certainly shrink with a quiet weekend for Peng Min-ji. Chanana 3rd on 542, then Bak Young 480, and Lee So-mi on 422 points. Kim Ji-young 2 just outside of that top 5 on 409. And the money list, this is where there's a lot more disparity between 1st and 2nd. 1.5 billion on the season for Peng Min-ji, 884 million and change for Emi Jung, 851 for Chanana, 780, nearly 781 for Pak Young, which will probably encroach towards by the end of this weekend. Lee So-mi, the top 5 there as well. In the rookie points, it is Sung Ga-eun on 1,958 points. The Hong Jung-min was the top rookie in the field this weekend. Kim Ji, Jung Ji-min, and Hong Ji-yeon round out your top 5 for the rookies, with just 2 more events to play at the culmination of this 27th event of the season. Now Kim Yo-ju trying to recover out of the sand. She hasn't necessarily been great. She hasn't necessarily been poor. Looking through her LPGA stats on the season, her sand save percentage, 50% exactly. She handles this really well. That stat, for those unfamiliar with the sand save, is the amount of times where you're up and down, so you're out of the sand and you're in the hole within 2 strokes. She certainly looks to be in line after a really nice shot from the trap there. Back with Lee So-mi at the 12th. This is a longer putt for birdie. Looks like it's going to stay to the right of the cup. There was a minimal amount next to no break whatsoever on that putt. So she will settle for par at number 12, 3 under for the day still. First of 2 birdie putts belong to Yuhei Ren. This will be her 3rd birdie at the 10th through the course of the weekend. Alex, great.
버디.
First birdie since the 6th hole, just her 2nd on the round. She moves up to 9 under par. Now here is Jung, 1 hole further forward. Her approach to the green from 137 meters out. She'll bounce twice, climb on top of that rise, and sit in close. Well, she is peaking at just the right time. Back with the leader, trying to save par at number 10. She's got par or better 94% of the time. She adds another. The gap is 3.
거는 슬래시 보고 있어. 보기잖아. 바로 보고 치면 딱 좋을 것 같은데 나.
Hoda Bean has herself aligned. Putter's been a little bit cooler this weekend than her average from the season. That is another example. Unfortunately for her, she just whiffs on that opportunity to make up a stroke. Those are the ones
왼쪽까지
at the end of the day when
안 봐도 될 것 같아. 페란이 거의
you
똑바로
look
가고
back at maybe why I wasn't able to summit this weekend. Fortunately, it's situations like that, so she's gonna take her time not to try and not compound this mistake with another. It's almost an identical distance now, just from the other side of the cup. It's averaging 31 putts per round throughout the course of this season. She was absolutely scorching hot in round 1 with the putter. Also the round where she had 5 birdies over a 6-hole stretch on her front 9, and then 2 birdies on the way in. 25 putts through 18 holes, which is astounding, and then 32 her average in rounds 2 and 3, and she has missed it. She was never confident with it. Usually with those misses, it's a quick, I'll put the ball marker down, readjust, get my line, and know where I made my mistake. But immediately, she went to her notebook. She's doing it again. Having a look at it from both sides of the hole, this is someone who is struggling a little bit for confidence right now, which is very unfortunate for her, because the rest of her game has been rock solid. Now for bogey. For partner, Kim Yo-ju of the lead. Here is the par 4 11, 346 meters. -10-meter climb down the hill from the tee blocks to the landing zone, about 215 meters from the tee, with 3 individual bunkers on either side of the fairway. and continuing to work downhill. 2 bits of sand to contend with to the front left of the green. The pin location today, 8 yards from the left edge and 8 yards from the back, and you need to be high on this green, otherwise you will be sloping down to the front. Yuhei Ran will tee off first. Hoda Bean still has not arrived at the tee. Taking a second with her caddy to compose herself. Go through the mental exercises to try and wipe the slate clean and get ready for the 11th. First of 3 par 4s in a row, 11, 12, and 13. Then there's the par 3 14th, another par 4 at 15 before we finally see a par 5 again. And when we reach that point, it is the longest hole on course. By then, we should have a pretty clear idea whether or not Kim Yo-ju will be able to cruise her way into victory for her 2nd win on the KLPGA this season. Birdie here yesterday. Trying to repeat 61 meters per second. The ball speed off the face of that driver. She might have just rolled into the rough to the right side of the fairway. Her average driving distance, 243 yards. It has progressively gone shorter as the weekend progressed, and a lot of that has to do with the wind that was around the course yesterday. She's been mostly accurate, just as EG Jung has been with the putter. That is now 3 birdies in a row. Suddenly Hoda Bean and Yu Iran are quite a ways back of the peloton, forming in behind of Kim Yo-ju. Jung wouldn't mind throwing her hat in the ring there. A birdie here would move her into a tie for 5th with Lee Seung-yeon and Hoda Bean. And it looks like she is going to have that birdie after a really nice approach at number 12. Well, the leaderboard shaken up a bit. Hoda Bean has dropped off the front page, the bottom of those tied for 5th at 8 under par. She is the same score as Lee So-min, Park Ji-young. Yuhei Ran all alone in 4th position at the minute. Lee Ga-young and Lee So-young in a tie for 2nd at 10 under. Kim Yo-ju continues to lead this event by 3 strokes. Final round of the SK Networks SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic. Here is our leader now. Well, a couple of fortuitous bounces as she started to roll towards the flag, but she didn't have enough carry on it. We touched on it in our whole preview, but you have to be towards the back of the green here, otherwise that is what will happen. Will take you further away and almost guarantee your birdie is out of play. It's a decent out from the rough, all things considered, but much further towards the front than she would have been hoping for. Hoda Bean, she needs a birdie here to get herself back in the hunt and just find that confidence again. That is not going to help as she's short of the green, maybe has even found the sand. The last thing you want to see as a supporter of any kind of Hoda Bean is to watch her capitulate. No doubt there's some pressure. She was in a really good position, started the day just 1 back of Kim Yo-ju, chasing down her 1st win in her professional career. She was the pole sitter after round number 1, 6 under 66, a 1-stroke lead over Na Yeon. Yuhei Ran does go to the back to keep herself on that top step, though she is hugging the fringe at the back of the green. Jan to round out that thought on round 1. Currently in a tie for 8th, just a 1 under round in progress at 7 under, 6 back of the lead. Isomi is going to get a friendly bounce back towards the center of the green. She might even finish pin high here. There may be no one with more confidence and red hot ball striking on the entire course right now than Isomi, the second lowest round of anyone. Still on course. Chanuri is about to finish up a 6 under round to finish in a tie for 15th. A near miss to the outside edge of the cup. Would have been another birdie to add to the collection. Would have brought her to 11 under, closed the gap to 2. Kimio-ju, she's on the green looking at a par situation, a 2-putt up the hill to stay at 13. There's definitely a chase. Seo Ran probably won't be gaining any ground here either. Isomi could very well move into a tie with Yuhei Ran after another really nice approach shot. There's the aforementioned Nahian and Imi Jung in a tie at 7 under par. Well, here is Hoda Beans out from the sand, and it's a good one. Now that is the nearly precise distance that gave her so much trouble on the last hole, but you will take your confidence building shots where you can get them. That can certainly be one of them for the 23-year-old. Now we meet Jung to move to 8 under for her tournament at the end of the 12th hole. She's got it. Fourth birdie of the round. If not for that one bogey on the scorecard, she would be within 4. She might be leaving this a little bit too little too late, but she is in a fantastic run of form as she chases down another top 5 finish. Kimio-ju for birdie. Up the hill and then breaking back towards our left, her right. Oh my goodness. Centimeters away from another remarkable putt. She's had a handful of those throughout the weekend. She will have to settle for the par here. Really good try, and maintains her comfortable lead atop the leaderboard. Now Isomi for a birdie to move to 9 under. Left to right putt. Finds the bottom of the cup once again. Another birdie for her. That is 4 now on the round. 2 in her previous 3 holes. She is within 4. Back to the 11th. Yue Ran putting from the edge of the green and the fringe. It's moving back towards the right. Just started that move a little bit too early. Leaves her with a 2-footer for par. I'd say all in, she will be content with how this hole should finish. Bogey here in round 2 on Friday, pars otherwise. Here's Lee Seung-yeon at 8 under for her round, 1 under on the day, but not for much longer after an approach like that. She'll be able to grab a birdie and run off the 12th hole. Also at 9 under. We're really starting to filter out the contenders and the pretenders here down the stretch. Yiga Jung, I would have no trepidation classifying her in the former category. Well, she stayed left as she needed to be. This will be a tough birdie. Now Hoda Bean. How quickly things can change. You would think if this stays out of the hole, her tournament's essentially over, but puts her bogey from number 10 in the rear view mirror. Sometimes it's just those simple little pars that are all it takes to delete mistakes and trouble holes from your memory. Yuhei Ren also a short look at par that she converts on. Will stay at 9 under in a tie for 4th, heading to the 12th tee. Even par round on Friday, otherwise 68s in both the first and third rounds for the 20-year-old prodigy. SEOKYUNG from the very end of the fairway. Well, if there is anyone who has a real shot at taking this title from Kim Yeon-ju, it could very well be her. Another really nice approach for the two Lottie-sponsored athletes holding down the top 2 spots on the leaderboard. And SEOKYUNG, she left it a little bit late after going 1 over yesterday. She's putting in quite the performance, nearly through 15 holes to put the pressure on, and we'll hope that Kim Yeon-ju cools off down the stretch here at Pinks. And the scorecard for Hoda Bean, you can see way too many squares. A bogey first, 6th, and 10th holes, and then the double bogey before getting her par at number 12. That has taken her mostly out of contention, now 3 over and 7 back. We will check in with Peng Min-ji. Her final hole of the day. 3 over in round number 1. Even in round 2, only 1 under yesterday. And today, if she can find that birdie, she would finish up 10 spots from where she started the day. At 1 under for the tournament, or even for the tournament, excuse me. She's 1 over starting her 18th hole, which is the 9th by virtue of her starting on the 10th tee. Yuhei Ren, the first to tee off, and deposits that ball into the middle of the fairway. Kim Yeon-ju, this is just her 4th LPGA Tour of Korea event of the season. She won 1 of the 3 already. We'll start it towards the left side of the fairway. She's going to get a fortuitous roll down closer to target. This 12th hole, as we've seen from Isomi and some of the others who have recently completed it, has a very aggressive pin location to the left side of the putting surface. Trouble here for Isomi, and she's found either the rough or the sand, depending on how shallow she landed towards that mound. Even if she avoided the sand on landing, she might have rolled back in. Well, working off a birdie at the last. It was her 4th of the day, 2 bogeys throughout her round as well. The winner of the BC Card Hung-Young Ladies Cup back in the final tournament in the month of June. She put together a round of 66 on Sunday to take home the title. A 700 million won purse that was divvied up amongst the field. Her first professional win. You could see the emotion just pouring out of her when she finally reached the top. Been a long time coming. It was a points haul that day that will have her safely inside the top 60, which is the race to automatically secure your tour spot for 2022. Jung going right at the pin again. 8 inches away. When she is on her game, there is few that can keep up with her. Jung now for birdie at number 12 to move within 2. Tricky one. That looks like it's going to miss to our right, and it will. Didn't start it enough to the right of the cup as she lined that up. So she will tap in, settle for par. Still 3 back. Now SEOKYUNG to get to 9 under, tie for 4th. 2 under for the day now, her second birdie and her first since the 4th hole. Pungminji, this is the aforementioned quest to finish exactly level, 288 strokes through 72 holes, and she's got her birdie. So she passes SEOKYUNG at the end by just 1 shot. She would love to have another go at the first 2 rounds, but she straightened it out. China now for the record in progress at the minute. Started on the 10th tee as well, currently playing hole number 5. Up and down round for her. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys on her opening 9 holes. She's got 5 pars in a row. Currently 6 over for the tournament. And Jung does make it 3 in a row. If she can keep this up, birdieing every hole, then hey, she might just have a chance. Regardless of where she finishes off, it's another good round. Only 1 under on Thursday and then consecutive rounds of 70. She started the day at 5 under. Now Hoda Bean. Keep in mind, she's looking to the left side of the green. 2/3 of a swing here. Significantly downhill, and she's carried well beyond. The putting surface missing to the back left into the rough, though not entirely prohibitive in that cut of rough. Ran her approach. The wind's still steady at the minute, around 3 meters per second. Let's be a little bit right to left right now. Well, she finds almost the exact center, about 7 or 8 feet off to the right of the cup. Birdies here at number 12 on Thursday and Saturday. And it is, yes, around 2 meters per second, but right in the face of the players on the fairway. Kim Yo-ju is next to shoot. She seems to be happy with this. Well, maybe upon reflection, not quite as happy. She's lucky to stay above that gully. The grass bunker was awaiting that ball with arms wide open. Now he's so me. This is a long look at birdie, but a look at birdie nevertheless. ENG watches on. It's got a chance. So look at par, excuse me. This is by a foot or two. So it will be her first dropped stroke of the round when she plays through. Now he's so young for birdie to get to within 2 of the leader. It's a simple tap in after another really nice approach. She's got 7 birdies now on the round, 1 bogey. It is a 6-under day in progress for her. Only 3 holes to play, 2 strokes back, and Kim Yo-ju in a bit of trouble off to the rough as well. So, Lee So-young, when she finishes her 72nd hole, how close might she be to the top of the leaderboard? She's putting together a fantastic Sunday. 6 under is one of the scores to beat on the day. Chanu Ri, you can see it's 6 under as well, though she is in the clubhouse on page 2 of the leaderboard. Well, Kim Yo-ju from just off the green, a tricky flop shot. Picks up a bunch of speed as it lands on the fringe in that downslope rather than the green, and she's going to have a tricky look at par after a difficult out from the rough. Isomi 111, 111 meters out of the flag. Can't think of many players who have been as accurate with the approach game today than she. Perhaps Lee So-young. Greens in regulation have been a little bit wobbly throughout the weekend. Nearly a hole out from the rough from Hoda Bean. That would have given her one last reason to believe on this day. Would have taken her back inside the top 10. She's 7 back of Kim Yo-ju, who could be going down a stroke here unless she's got a miraculous par putt in store. But Lee So-mi, she was 100% accurate at greens in regulation round 1. Round 2, though, missed 5. Round 3, she missed 3. She looks a lot closer to her round 1 performance today than the other 2. Imi Jung trying to pick up another birdie. She's just got the weight. Such a difficult line that it looked even for a moment like she was going to miss to the inside of the cup, but it just stays out to the right. Still have to settle for par, still at the tie for 4th at 9 under. Yue Ran in the end had the nicest of the 3 approach shots. This is her look at birdie. Should be a little bit right to left to start. Might straighten out. No, it's going to stay on that left break. She will be just shy of the birdie. Don't know that is necessarily a great omen for Kim Yo-ju. Here's Lee So-young for birdie at number 13. Can cut the gap to 3 strokes. It's got a lot of pace. Slowed up in a hurry. That slight upslope back towards the cup, and a minuscule amount, but enough off on the line to keep her away from that birdie. She'll head to 14, still chasing 10 under. Well, it would keep her lead a comfortable one, or a more comfortable one at 2 strokes than 1. Well, it starts to come back, it just runs out of the power it needed. So it will be a rare bogey for Kim Yo-ju. Her second of the day, the other coming at the 7th, and now her lead is just 1 stroke. 6 holes to play. Jung can move within a stroke now as a result of Kim Yo-ju's bogey. Misses to the right. Well, she's going to be in a position to continue to apply the pressure to our leader. Not many holes remaining in the round of SEOKYUNG, so it could be up to Jung to be the one to stay in the chase. Ho Da-bin. Big smile on her face as she has seemingly figured out that putter after, quite frankly, a bizarre 3 putts that led to her falling out of contention, likely for good. Me. Another chance at birdie, and another birdie made. Rebounds from the bogey at the last. 3 holes to play and 3 back of the lead. Here's SEOKYUNG. Approach at the par 5 16th. She's 80 meters out. Bounces once and tails back in to set up what should be another birdie. The ball striking between her and SEOKYUNG in this final round has been ludicrous, and I mean that as a compliment. She is on a whole other level. That would be her 8th birdie of the round if she's able to finish out at the 16th. SEOKYUNG teeing off. Par 3 14th, 166 meters or 182 yards, depending on your preference. And a significant miss out to the right.
살짝 슬만 좀 신경 써줘, 가영. 거의 150 캐리하면 되거든. 이게 왼쪽 끝이 핀으로 생각하면 되고.
Jung beginning her par 3. Decent approach. Not great, not poor, somewhere in the middle. I'd say quite the birdie putt. A refresher of the leaders in the 3 main statistical categories. Peng Min-ji on 657 points and 1.5 billion won. She should cross that 1.5 billion threshold officially at the completion of this round, and Song Ga-eun nearing 2,000 points to lead all rookies on tour. Not her best day. Round in progress. She's 1 under on this Sunday, 5 over for the tournament. Jung-min 3 strokes better as her round continues. Her round in the books, excuse me, she finished at 2 over with an even par round of 72 on the day. Kim Yo-ju is away, though feeling a little less comfortable atop the leaderboard from what we've seen of her throughout this season and over the years. A little bit of pressure, she sometimes welcomes it. Keeps her sharp. The final player to tee off and land in the fairways as Yoo-hae Ran with another nice drive. Will be the 15th S-Oil Championship from November 5th to 7th from Elysian Jeju. We will finish out this season the following week at the SK Telecom ADT Caps Championship from La Vie Belle. Another 1 billion won purse up for grabs. Here are the updated LF Hazi's point standings entering this event. It is Chana now with a slim lead over Imi Jung, though that lead might completely disappear when the dust has settled here. Imi Jung continues to climb towards the top of that leaderboard. Pang Min-ji 3rd, Park Young-kyung 4th, Kim Ji-young 2, final member of the top 5, then Lee So-mi 6th. She should make up some serious ground towards the top 5. Annalene 7th, and Yoo-hae Ran, who should also get above the 5,000 point threshold. Started the week in 8th. Well, this young woman has been in and out of that top 10 throughout the season. Another birdie. 8 now on the day, 7 under round in progress. On pace for a final round 65, which is absolutely remarkable. Chanu-ri, her round is finished. She has finalized that 65. She finishes at 6 under for the tournament inside the top 15, despite starting the day over par. Chung Yoon-ji also a round of 65 in progress on her final hole. Top marks on the day belong to those 3. Speaking of top marks, what an approach that is. Kim Yo-ju outside of 13 under for exactly 6 minutes, and she'll be getting it back. Remarkable shot, that. Now Lee Young from the fairway at number 15. Her second shot, 129 meters back of the pin. She's going to get a nice bounce, too. Oh, we are being treated to a shooting clinic. Imi Jung, what a shot. Now, a bit of trouble at the par 3 14th for Lee Seung-yeon, having missed to the right of the green. Well, she gets the backspin she needs to start to slow it up. She'll still finish about 2 meters beyond the pin. The up and down is alive. Well, as simple as it gets, Kim Yo-ju, another birdie. 2-shot lead is restored.
맞아. 계속 있어, 3.
A quick repair of the divot before she turns her attention to a birdie putt.
이쪽으로 들어가도 괜찮을 것 같아. 이쪽으로. 자신 있게만 쳐줘.
Nahyun rather surprisingly overshadowed in this group today. Young 5 meters exactly to move to 11 under par would be her return to 4 under on the round. She comes up just a bit short. Young holding steady, as you see her in the background, getting ready for her look at birdie. 1 under. She's at 7 under for the round. That's 1 shot clear of Hoda Bin. Yuhei Ran, this would take her into a tie for 3rd with the player that just shot. This is starting well. Ooh, that's unfortunate at the end. Can't help but laugh as she watches that move away at the last instant. That par keeps her at 9 under. Now Isomi, does the shooting gallery continue? Her approach at the par 5 16th, she's 73 meters out. Well, she has a remarkable amount of spin on the ball today. Unfortunately for her, that takes her away from the hole that time. Lee Seung-yeon, this to save par. Staying a tie for 4th. It's hit with a lot of pace. When she missed yesterday, she often missed long. That is the case here. Well, it is 10 under. Briga Jung on her way to the next tee. Five holes to play for Kim Yo-ju to try and secure this championship. Back to the par 3s our featured group goes. The second to last par 3 of the tournament. 166 meters, only 8 birdies here today. 15 bogeys, everyone else has parred. Creek separating the tee blocks from the patch of fairway before the green. Sand to the right and to the left of the green. Pin location today exactly in the middle, horizontally of the green, and nearly exactly in the middle of the depth as well. Lee Seung-yeon, it will be a bogey for her. So she drops to 5 back of the lead. The wind calming down at a good time. Left to right. Kim Yo-ju will tee off. It's a 6-iron for her. Well, she will bounce 6 feet or so before the pin. Continue to roll. Slightly uphill look at birdie.
저기 핀 약간 오른쪽에 오른쪽 내려가기 전 그 지나가서 있는 거 몰라?
Trying to get a read at the final product. The clouds is just dark enough to make those sunglasses a hindrance, but it's also bright enough where she needs to shield her eyes. slightly further back than Kim Yo-ju, though
어딘가 있어.
similar distance. Nobody tell our featured group what's at stake here. They're having way too much fun. It's good to see them keeping it light and loose. Penultimate hole, also a par 3. This is Lee So-young going 7-iron. Not quite as jovial. She is very much locked in here. She has 2 holes to try and get to 13 under to keep the pressure on Kim Yo-ju. She's going to continue to roll closer and closer to the pin. She should hope to stop there, though. Doesn't want to drop off much. And a smile, she's in line for another birdie. Isomi just comes up short. That long look at birdie. A shocking miss from Jung. She stayed in that follow through for an extra 5 seconds or so. She tried to immediately diagnose what went wrong. So she won't get any closer than 4 by the end of her 15th hole. It's a very slim lead as Lee So-young a round of 7 under towards the end and on the green at the par 3 17th. Should be an exciting finish to this event. Welcome back. We are in the final push in this final round. Yuhei Ran looking for birdie, coming up short to the inside. Start of the day in sole possession of 3rd. 2 back of the lead. And as this day has worn on, a par here to stay at 9 under par. Now 4 in a row. She's kept Kim Yo-ju close, though that gap has been doubled. Lee Ga-young and Lee So-young have moved in between those two, as has Lee So-mi. Lee So-young trying to get into a tie for the lead. Pushed a little bit to the outside. Well, she will make short work of that par putt, and it will all come down to the 18th hole. She can put the pressure on the leader by virtue of a birdie. She's got a chance. Kim Yo-ju a miss to the inside, so we've seen both sides of this nearly exactly centered hole today. Fine misses as Kim Yo-ju finishes off.
앞에 거는 클래식까지는 아니니까 이쪽을 좀 봐야 될 것 같아.
Notably for Kim Yo-ju, this final stretch has given her some grief in the first 2 rounds. Bogey at the 15th in round 2, bogey on the 16th in round number 1. Lee So-young, meanwhile, 2 birdies on the 18th previously in the tournament. However, she did have a double yesterday, which certainly cannot be in the cards. Jae-jin at the aforementioned 18th hole comes up short as she was looking for a birdie to move into a tie for 11th at 6 under. It will be a par, and it is a final round score of 71 for a combined tournament of 283. 1 under for the day, 3 birdies, 2 bogeys, and just outside of the top 15 for the champion of this event from back in 2019. Well, it appeared as though Kim Yo-ju lost that in the sky for a moment. As soon as she found it again, she would have felt a little bit of relief knowing that that was straight center. Yoo-hae Ran, 4 back, 4 holes to play. Needs to start finding some birdies. Well, you add them all up. This stretch of 16 holes, she only had 3 birdies. Lee Seung-yeon from quite the distance away. She's got it online. It bounced a little bit on an imperfection in the grass, and that killed any remaining speed that ball had. She is short of her birdie. Well, between her and Yoo-hae Ran, Jae Reem even also inside the top 10. I think her sponsor will be very proud. Joint sponsoring this event, and Yoo-hae Ran, Lee Seung-yeon only separated by 1 stroke. Here's Lee So-mi at the 17th. It is 6 iron for her. Well, headed towards the back right. That's going to be a very tricky upslope to start the putt. And then something of a free-for-all on its way down. Be anyone's guess. She has cooled off, though. It's only realistic that she came back to earth a little bit after a scintillating run of form in the middle of her round. There's Lee Ga-young from just off the green from the fringe. Missing slightly to the outside. All of this is good news for Kim Yo-ju. Only be 3 holes to play, following what she hopes and should be a par. Lee So-young, excuse me, the border of fairway and rough. All nicely on. Eight birdies on the round. Something spectacular. The only error came at the 7th, the bogey on the par 4. And the par is secured. Needs Kim Yo-ju to cool off a little bit, or she needs to birdie the final 3 holes to give herself a chance. The approach at the par 5, Jung, 74 meters. Seemingly struck well. And there is your visual confirmation of how well she played that approach. Should be a birdie easily at the 16th. Front and right located pin today, 9 yards from the front edge, 4 yards from the right. Well, gave herself the best chance she could hope for from that distance away. Be a two-putt kind of hole. It's 130 meters out. Kim Yo-ju. Couple of birdies down the stretch here should put this tournament away. Onto the green. Yuhei Ran will be next to approach the green. Well, about 4 meters outside of target, although the chance at birdie is there. And a tap in for Isomi to secure the par. She is through 17 holes on the day, 71 in the tournament. A nice charge in the final round up the leaderboard. Looks like she's going to come up a few strokes short. It is still Kim Yo-ju's tournament to lose. On the green and only 4 holes to play with a 1-shot advantage over SEOKYUNG, who will soon be finished her 18th hole, so it should be coming down to one of 2 players in the home stretch here. Time for one more quick break. Back in a few. This is the Pinks Golf Club, the 4th and final round. Well, welcome back. A near worthy to come back to with Yuhei Ran coming up just short of a birdie. 4 back, 3 holes to play. That missed birdie might spell the end of her chase. Jung at the 16th, that is where our featured group is headed next. This to move to 10 under par. She needs this to have a chance. She's got it. A missed opportunity, a rare miss from Kim Yo-ju. That wasn't even close. Well, she's left the door open for the neutral. It makes it more exciting for the final 3 holes. Well, drawing around the trees, setting up a clear look at the green. Jung at the 16th. Jung, leading rookie on tour, trying to finish the round on a positive with a birdie. Needs to get to the right in a hurry. It starts to, comes up shy, so it will be a tournament score of 5 over par. Though a nice way to end it, 71 on Sunday. The gap will shrink slightly. The good performance from Thursday until today. From Hong Jung-min, it was 41 points entering this weekend. I imagine it'll be in the mid-20s once that math is finalized. Yue ran the first tee shot at number 16, hits and sticks. On its way, bouncing 3 times and then rolling off the back from Jung. Well, each of the 3 are away, with Hoda being the last to tee off. It's moving back towards the cup. That is a really nice finish to the hole and to the round. Another birdie, 9 on the day, 5 under on the way in, 3 under on the way out. She is in a tie for the lead. She has done all she possibly can. She will head to the clubhouse and watch how the rest of the field shakes out. What a round from her. 64. She's in some pretty elite company with that round at this course that can play extremely tough. Well, the approach from Jung tails off towards the fringe once more. Only one player since 2016 has found a 64 here at Pinks, and in this event, it was Kim Sung-yeon back when it was just a 2-day tournament with a 64 and 66. What a round it was for her. Aside from her, only Kim Ae-yoon in the history of this tournament had a round of 64, also happening on the final round Sunday. So yes, some pretty elite company for Lee So-young. Well, it won't be a tournament to remember for Chen Ana on her final hole. 76 yesterday, as things got progressively worse for her throughout the tournament. She's in line for a 74 today. Currently in a tie for 65th. That is the 5th lowest score of all those who made the cut, unfortunately, for the defending champion. And here is your tour of the 16. We're down to just 3 holes left in this tournament unless we need a playoff. Never say never. It is the longest hole on course at 515 meters. And it is a 15-meter descent from the tee blocks to the landing zone just by those 3 trees where the fairway starts to curve. Seen many players try and draw through the trees. Young got in the trees yesterday. After that, you have the pond to the right, just before the green. In play for those who really try and stretch it and go for it into. The safer play, of course, is to lay up and then attack the pin. And the pin today, 4 yards from the right, 9 yards from the front, just before that bend to the right. Stay short here if you can. Anything deeper than 9 yards, and that'll roll you into that little gully to the middle right of this green. Yuhei Ren, she has reached her second. She's going with the hybrid. 273 remaining. She's trying to take a good bite out of it here. And does very well. Five wood for Kim Yo-ju. She gets to the left cut of the fairway.
나 저기 되게 좋아한다.
Well, with someone
괜찮긴 한데.
following the group with the scoreboard, they are always aware of where exactly they stand. Young on the green. Our feature group is headed to, and this was always missing. I think you can unofficially strike her name from the contenders list. And that's saying a lot, seeing as how limited that list is becoming in a hurry. To 17. She would need to hole out to even have any kind of a chance. She plays it well in terms of weight control, but almost impossible from that lie. She'll be in line for a par. We'll have one final hole after this one, a birdie, and she could be looking at a runner-up finish again. Chanana for a semblance of victory, birdieing the last. She will waste no time finishing this tournament. Not one for her to remember. The golf cart away from the course, distracting her a little bit, so she steps out. Taps in her 74th shot of the day, 296 for the tournament. Tied with Kim Yo-moon for 65th. The defending champion officially bows out on the 9th hole. Lee Seung-yeon, she is just 1 under for the day. Her 2-over round yesterday on Saturday took her out of contention. Started the day in a tie for 4th, just 1 back. Wasn't able to pick up any strokes along the way, and 999 times out of 1,000, being 1 under is not going to win you many tournaments in the final round. That's a nice birdie. She walks it in. 2 under. Third birdie of the round. Into a tie for 5th with Isomi and Yuhei Ran. She jogs off to the next tee. This will be the look at par for Jung. So she will carry that 10 under score to the 17th tee. After 3 birdies in a row, she has a stretch of 5 consecutive pars now. Isomi serpentining putts that she had a hope and a prayer that it would make its way back to the right. She's left it short, and she sputters on her way in with 3 straight pars. It's a good day for her. Finishes in a tie for 5th, consecutive rounds of 72 after going 4 under in round number 1. Yuhei Ran down 2 spots from where she started the day, currently in that tie with Isomi. Approach inside of 100 meters. And splash. She is usually so reliable with the greens in regulation. That is a shocking miss because it's so out of character for her. And it's been something of a steady decline, admittedly. She only missed 1 green in each of the first 2 rounds. Yesterday she missed 3. And for Kim Yo-ju, our leader, our co-leader now, her greens in regulation have been nothing to write home about. However, she's made up for it with her putter. Tied for 2nd at this event last year. 5 under tournament of 283. 2 under in the final round last year. She came up just short. And that is the top-down view of the problem zone for Yuhei Ran. Now this to save par. She'll head to 18, 3 back of the co-leaders. Unless she has a ace up her sleeve, figuratively and literally. She will come up short of the chase, so it'll be another disappointing result in terms of coming up just short of the win, but another great round of golf, great tournament of golf for Jung at 10 under par, heading to the 18th and final hole of her round. After her miss to the right of the green at number 16, she had to take her drop, so now she is in a best case scenario holing out for par, but more likely setting up a short bogey. Well, up and down as she stares down a descent to 8 under par, which will get her level with Annalene and Imjini. To the tee at 17 we go next. Lee Seung-yeon will be teeing off first. Not a single ace, not a single eagle. All around here so far today from the 66 players or so who have already passed the final par 3. Same can be said about yesterday. That's about 4 meters out of a birdie. Jung Min had an eagle at the par 4 6th on Friday. There was also an eagle at the 18th that came from Shin Bo-min on the same day. Kim Yoo-bin, who missed the cut at 5 over par. A third eagle of the day early in her back 9. It's not a course that's very conducive to those low scores. He brings out the best and sometimes, unfortunately, can highlight the worst. 4 eagles combined throughout, 5, excuse me, throughout the tournament. Jung dropping it onto the green at number 17. A little bit north and west of this green where we find Kim Yoo-ju. This is an attempt at birdie. She's got to have one of these to go. Hoda Bin, no real skin in the game, but she even bent her knees a little bit in anticipation of that potentially rolling in. It is just a par, so 2 final opportunities for Kim Yoo-ju to win this thing before we have to start thinking about another playoff. Jung lost in a playoff last week at the BMW Ladies Championship to the new world number 1. Returned to the top spot in the Rolex rankings after a fantastic weekend and, quite frankly, an unbelievable season from Ko Jin-young. Yoo-hae Ran trying to stay within reach of the top 5. It's not going to come on this hole. She's going to need a good bounce back on her final 2. This for bogey. Disappointing dip in the pond. Her first bogey since the 3rd hole. Back to even for the round. Just off the green on the fringe, it is Jung. Broke to the right immediately, lost all of its power. Lee Seung-yeon, she will be next. 1 shot in behind unless she has a birdie in store here, then she would move level with her group mate. To the bottom of your screen is Na-hee-yeon, who is 2 over for the day, down to a tie for 18th. 12 spots she's dropped today. Current tournament score of 4 under. Here's Lee Seung-yeon. She looks to get to 10 under. 5 meters exactly, slightly downhill. A little bit of break at the end, right to left. Comes up empty-handed. Pendulum kind of tournament for Lee Seung-yeon. 70, 2 under, day 1. Day 2 on Friday, she goes 7 under. Then yesterday a 74. She is on pace for a 70 today, a return to her opening round score. Kim Yo-ju on pace for another round under 70. Young, perfect par percentage. 1.63 putts on average per hole. She picked a poor time to miss. Tap in bogey, her first of the day, and her first since the 14th hole in round number 3. 7 bogeys combined in her tournament now as she has reached the 72nd and final hole and has dropped outside of that top 3. Amy Jung, it's working its way back. It's got a chance. Just and only just missing to the inside of the cup. It will be a round of 67 once that par goes in. Finish at 10 under, one of just 3 players as it stands right now to achieve that mark over the course of the weekend. So that'll be consecutive podium finishes for Amy Jung. Kim Yo-ju, our co-leader, first to tee off, going with the 7-iron. Here at the 17th, looking back left of the hole. All the way off the back and bounces off the sprinkler head. And it's tricky with the way that green kind of plays a little bit wavy. So now you start to think, well, maybe the birdie is out of the question. She just has to avoid a bogey and take this thing to a playoff. Decent try from the fringe. A tap-in finish for Che Reem. Bogey at the 15th, 2 birdies on the back 9. She finishes with a tournament score of 281. Sole possession of 10th as it stands, a 7-under tournament as she finishes her 72nd hole. Yue Ran only 1 stroke clear of Che Reem, teeing off also with 7-iron. If she can get a little bit more loft here, she might be okay. That's exactly how she's played it. About 2/3 of a backswing, full follow through, and really got underneath that ball. It's a great approach. She has parted this hole each time she has played it through 3 rounds. My surface level body language analysis tells you she is mentally checked out here. She's found the sand. She's right to be a little bit disappointed, a little bit frustrated. Tough way to start your final hole into the sand. Now Amy Jung, tap-in wouldn't be giving her enough credit. All putts are magnified here with tens of millions of one on the line. She is out officially. Finishes 3 back of Lee So-young, a round of 67 on her way in, matching what Kim Yo-ju did yesterday. Perhaps if she could have gone lower in the opening 2 rounds, she would have had a shot. But another podium finish for Im Hee-jung, in with a 67. Only 6 players remain on the West Course here at Pinks, and we could be headed for a playoff. Stay tuned. We are gearing up for the final push. Kim Yo-ju, she needs a birdie in one of the final holes. Will it come here? Yes, it will! Are you kidding me? The most improbable of birdie putts, and that might be the one to win this event. Up and down, picking her line perfectly out of the fringe and in. You will not see many a better putt than that. Reminding us all why she is one of the best in the world right now. 11th in the worldwide rankings, and one of the greatest putts in one of the biggest moments I have ever seen from Kim Yo-ju. She just needs a par now at the last, and she is winning this tournament. Remarkable. Jung, she found the sand off the tee. She's playing aggressive, trying to get over that creek. Well, she stays dry, but she hasn't left the beach. She's just trading one sand trap in for another. SEOKYUNG, there was a extended window here where we thought maybe it would finally be her weekend. A little bit of inconsistencies down the stretch. She's going to come up short. No, she set herself up for one final birdie, one last ascent. Now Yuhei Ran, also a look at birdie. It's not going to feel nearly as impressive if it goes in based on the putt we saw a couple of minutes ago, but it's still a good opportunity. She doesn't waste it. Back in the birdie column for the first time since the 10th hole. And she moves from a tie for 7th into a tie for 4th, with SEOKYUNG and Jung finishing up their round. So Kim Yo-ju now back atop the leaderboard at 14 under. She just needs to get in cleanly at 18. It is something that she has had little struggle with throughout the weekend, throughout the tournament. She has parted each and every time she has played it. If she does that here, she will be the champion of the SK Network's SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic for 2021, and it will be very well earned in a bit of dramatic style. Well, here we go. The final hole of the tournament, barring a bogey from Kim Yo-ju, this tournament is hers. A little bit overexcited, found a little bit more power in that swing than she had planned for into the rough, and that is okay. She can get out onto the green. It's 2 putts to win it all. Out of the sand, playing Jung, but nearly missing the green, if not for that backspin and the little bit of an upslope towards the border of the green to bring her back closer towards the middle. That is such a sharp-looking Odyssey putter. Jung playing with one similar, SEOKYUNG, I believe, with that similar kind of putter head as well. Seems to be where the majority of players are trending towards, especially the younger ones. The blade will always be the one you immediately associate when you think of a putter, and many of the veterans of tour still opting to go for that. Hoda Bean, despite a disappointing day, still in very good spirits, keeping the mood light. She was 6 under par in the opening round. The leader, 3 over today, and she's on the outside of the top 10 looking in. Nahian also 3 over for the day. Down 16 spots from where she started the morning, teeing off at just after 10 a.m. local time. This is her look at par to avoid dropping another. Outside of 11 meters and some noticeable and notable right to left. It's going to straighten out at the end if it has the pace. So it doesn't even get to that point. It dips back in towards the cup at the very end, and it will be a bogey for Nahian. She'll tap in. It will be a round of 76. She will finish in a tie for 26 with Kim Ji-young 2, Kim Soo-ji, Chung Se-bin, Chae Min-young, and Hong Jung-mi. Well, somewhere in that group of spectators in behind the green is Lee So-young, who I'm sure by now has seen a replay of that remarkable birdie from Kim Yo-ju. Lee Ga-young trying to finish her tournament with a par for a round of 70 and a share of 4th position by the end. Just left it to the outside. She will tap in and finish in a tie for 8th at 8 under with Im Gini and Annalene. Consecutive bogeys to end the round. There was a spell specifically at the end of the 11th hole where it felt like this might be a golden opportunity for her to make a move with 3 birdies in a row, but she petered out, lost the birdie edge. 4 under for the day, 6 birdies, 2 bogeys, 7 and 12. She just needs to put the ball in the hole within the next 3 shots. Lee Seung-yeon for birdie. And a tie for 3rd when the dust settles. Nearly at the end. So she will stay in a tie for 4th with Lee So-mi. Potentially Yoo Hae-ran, depending on how this 18th goes. Her previous best on the season was 6th place at the 9th E1 Charity Open. She's finalized a new season best. Came up short of the win, still just the 1 in her career. The next in St. Nine Masters of 2019, but a good day on course. Coming up a little bit short, but comfortably inside the top 5. Kim Yo-ju will get some free relief from the divot in the fairway. One last look at the top 5 leaders before things get shuffled around a little bit before we come back to course next week. This is the unenviable position where selfishly you're hoping for Kim Yo-ju to slip up here, knowing you've done all you can. It's out of your hands now. Would have been her first win since 2020, her 6th win as a professional. The approach from Kim Yo-ju. She's on the green, excuse me, but rolling off, so she'll rebound back off the fringe and stay on the green. 2 putts to win. Don't overcomplicate it, get it in close, and she's finally realizing the growing viewing party in behind the green at 18. Hoda Bean, a birdie, can take her back into a tie for a top 10 finish. 3 over for the day. This hybrid has given her grief. Hooked it a couple of times throughout the tournament. This time she's got it dialed in. Finds the green, it'll stop right there. Well, she'll keep the birdie in play. The wheels really fell off for her. Unfortunately, there was a distinct moment when things slipped away, and that was at the 11th, when she double bogeyed after bogeying the 10th, and it was just a couple of short putts. She played putts from inside of 3 meters 3 times. Hasn't had a birdie since. Hasn't had a bogey since, to her credit, but that was when we knew it wasn't going to be her first win this weekend. Yue Ran also arriving in style on the green at 18. Well, everyone in the group, they will take the putter from their caddies' hands and get ready to finish this tournament. Only 3 Koreans from throughout the world ranked higher. Ko Jin-young, Park In-bi, Kim Se-young. And to their credit, that 3 of the top 4 positions in the world, with only Nelly Korda of the United States of America breaking up that top 4. Peng Min-ji, a 6-time winner. She's got the basket of flower petals ready to go. Yan and everyone enjoying each other's company.
로테이셔널 우승, 도쿄 올림픽 여자 골프 국가대표 출신 롯데 골프단 소속의 김효주 프로입니다. 두 번째 선수는요.
Well, assuming she's able to secure the title, it will go back to this. Probably one of the greatest putts of her career. The degree of difficulty under the circumstances. If she misses that, no one bats an eye. But it makes this a much different 18th hole. Well, Pinks has been a sensational host. We will stay on Jeju for the next event at Allegiant Jeju before wrapping up the season at La Vie Belle. Two putts and that trophy will belong to her. The 14th playing of this event. We've still only had one repeat winner, Kim Ane, winning in 2008 and 2011. Past 3 champions, Pak Yeol, Chae Hae-jin, Chanana, potentially Kim Yo-ju. Here is her birdie putt. It's starting on track. She just wanted to get it close. She will mark her ball and make way for everyone else, as is the unofficial protocol. Oh, she came oh so close. What a round.
또 탔어요?
It's a situation where she gave herself a chance when it seemed like her round of 73 yesterday was going to take her right out of contention. SEOKYUNG, a winner in 2020 at the 8th E1 Charity Open. She's also a winner of the Unyoung Queen's Park Championship in 2018, the All4U Championship in 2018, the next in St. Nine also in 2018. 2016 was her first professional win, the Chojung Sparkling Water Yeongpyeong Resort Open with SBS. She will finish 1 stroke shy today. Yue Ran, a birdie putt to finish the tournament, double digits under par, a tie for third with Jung. Slightest of misses to the outside, so she'll tap in. There's a round of 71. She finishes at 9 under for the tournament, tied for fourth. Great first and third rounds. Just didn't make the putts she needed to down the stretch, but another positive step for the 20-year-old. Tied for 30th last week at the joint LPGA and LPGA of Korea BMW Ladies Championship. Time for 42nd at the Cognizant Founders Cup 2 weeks prior to that tournament. She had to withdraw from the ShopRite LPGA Classic presented by Acer. She came back to the LPGA Tour of Korea for 2 events after the Olympic Games, the tournament in which she finished tied for 15th. Finished 6th at the KB Financial Group Star Championship. She won the following week at the OK Savings Bank Seri Pack Invitational. Jumped back to the LPGA for a few weeks, returned to the LPGA Tour of Korea. A contested entry, and she was the cream of the crop. Hoda Bean, she had the best round on Thursday, a 66. Wheels fell off for her, unfortunately, with a double bogey early in her back nine. The future is very bright for this 23-year-old. For par, Hoda Bean. She's able to roll it in. A round of 75. She finishes just outside of the top 10, 9 spots down from where she started the day. Finishes on a positive. So 68 players are through. Only 1 remains, Kim Yo-ju. A short par putt for the title and the winner for the second time this season on the LPGA Tour of Korea, Kim Yo-ju, with a tournament score of 14 under par. And her group mates kick off the celebrations with a water bottle shower, and here come the flowers. A winner for the 19th time in her career. And a hug between her and the runner-up SEOKYUNG, a round of 8 under par, a 64. Tied for the course record here at Pinks for those on the LPGA Tour of Korea. She will dry off with her winner's towel. She has reached the peak again with Hallasan looming in the background. And Kim Yo-ju probably thinking, your picture is done, I want to dry off now. I'm a little bit cool. The sun's not out to dry me off like it would be earlier in the summer. Congratulations to her. We will have the full post-round celebrations, including an interview with our host broadcaster, SBS Golf. Then we'll get the presentation on the 18th green underway momentarily. Kim Yo-ju, the winner. This week on tour, the SK Network's SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic. Getting set for the ceremony now. We'll take a quick break and be back to hand out some hardware. Well, cascading through the final leaderboard as this 27th event of the season is in the books. 31 competitors of the 69 that made the cut finished below par. Another 7 finished at even exactly, including Peng Min-ji, a round of 2 under 70 today. Dong Jung-min, the top rookie of the competition, second in the rookie points standings. That with Park So-young on Sung-yi, amongst others. Park Gyel, the winner in 2018. She finishes with a disappointing tournament at 4 over par. Kim Woo-jung at 8 under. Same with Chanana, and the high score of those who made the cut belonging to Shin Bo-min at 19 over. Back to the front page. The top 3, Kim Yo-ju, Lee So-young, Im Hee-jung, Lee So-mi, Lee Seung-yeon, Yue Ren, and time for 4th, Annalene Im Ji-ni. The final 2 names on the front page of the leaderboard at 8 under. It's the second win of the season on the LPGA Tour of Korea. Kim Yo-ju, Peng Min-ji, of course, leading the way on 6. Seems out of reach now to beat the all-time record, but this will go down as one of the greatest seasons ever by a competitor on the LPGA Tour of Korea. Lee So-mi, Chanana also on 2 wins for the year. Pretty remarkable that the bulk of the 27 now events that have been completed have been won by these 5 women. Kim Soo-ji, who won the 21st Height Jinro Championship, as well as the 10th KGE Daily Ladies Open. Well, even though this is far from her first trip to the top of the leaderboard, now 19 wins in her career, just 26 years of age. You can see how much it means to her. It always does. There are very few players, no matter how good you are, whether you're the #1 player in the world, you've won every tournament there is to win. If you're Tiger Woods on the men's side of things, you always appreciate that feeling of accomplishing and besting your peers, especially in this game where Kim Yo-ju is a prime example of how you can have fun and enjoy the company of your group mates, because you're really only competing against yourself. Take you through the highlights of this championship determining round on this Sunday, October the 31st, 2021.
라인은 흙이 맞는 것 같아.
She got started on the right foot very early in the round. Kim Yo-ju with the birdie at the first. Hoda Bean also playing in the group. Birdie for her early, back when she was trying to stay toe for toe and go shot for shot with Kim Yo-ju. That birdie came at the 3rd hole. She would go back to back on 3 and 4. A long range birdie make from Imi Jung, her first of the day on the par 3 5th. Moved her to 6 under par. To the 5th hole, and that is where we will rejoin Kim Yo-ju after 3 consecutive pars after starting her day with the birdie. An approach nice and close over the water. less than a meter away, and that would be the first of 2 birdies in a row. The second being this one on the par 4. Excuse me. Another one where attacks the pin right on the money, and there was a long spell where we were seeing many players. Mi was one of them. Of course, Jung, and notably as well, SEOKYUNG with similar approaches, but SEOKYUNG was also getting it done with her putter. This was a ridiculous long-range effort that would find the bottom of the cup. Birdies at that point at 1, 3, 6, 9, and her first birdie of the back 9, of which she would have 5. Back to the 9th hole, Kim Yo-ju. After her consecutive birdies at 5 and 6, she had a bogey at the 7th. She would make up for it here. It's a decent approach, but still some work to be done. A little left to right, and dialed in to finish her back 9. She was out with a 33, 3 under. She would taper off a little bit, cool off, as it were, on the way in with only 2 birdies and a bogey. But she was almost completely in the clear at that point. Here are some of those fantastic shots from Mi. Basically dropping them inside of 2 or 3 feet from around the pin. She put together a really good charge. Finished the day at 9 under. 9 under is where Jung was at 11. This was from 137 meters out. Bounces twice, climbs on top of that final rise, and finishes about 5 feet back. 3 birdies in a row, and you thought, okay, we might have one more challenger here. Unfortunately for her, that would be her last birdie of the round and would finish with consecutive bogeys on the way in. To 12 with Jung. She had birdied this hole every single time she played it this weekend, and she was showing you how much of a master class she had. Just had this hole completely figured out. Another really nice approach. She had a streak of 3 birdies in a row, would also add another on the 16th. From the end of the fairway, arriving at the green 3 feet back of the cup and sitting up just mere inches away would be a tap-in for SEOKYUNG. On 13, this is Jung from inside of 100 meters. Lofts it in, another one. Inside of 3 or 4 feet. The spin rolls it back to set up another birdie as she was shooting low, trying to improve upon her runner-up finish last week where she lost in a playoff, the BMW Ladies Championship. More from SEOKYUNG. That little zip back in. And in the form that she was on throughout the day, that would be a clinical finish. To 13 we go. It is Kim Yo-ju, 110 meters out. Long enough that only 57% of the players from that range were able to find a birdie at the weekend. Just a couple of feet out after that really nice approach. Then on 16, Jung playing her 3rd on the par 5. Short game flex again. Bounces once and then glued to the green. Taps in the birdie. That would be her final of the round as she would finish at 10 under. And SEOKYUNG on 18. Earmarked for the bottom of the cup. Up she went to 13 under par. She had 3 holes to watch after signing her scorecard. But as soon as word would filter in about this. The shot of the day, one of the putts of the season. Kim Hyo-joo from the fringe, up the hill, down the hill, and online and in. The birdie putt to move her to 14 under par. Absolutely extraordinary shot making from Kim Hyo-joo. That means she just needed a par at the last. 174 meters. She gets it on the green. Would roll towards the back, would just stay on as it bumps off the fringe and heads back down. She would step up for her birdie putt. She didn't need the birdie. It would have been an exclamation mark, but the priority was getting it into range where she could tap in for the win. That is exactly what she did. And then a short putt inside of a meter, dead straight and down into the hole for the final shot of her round, her 274th stroke, as she secured the 19th win in her career, the second of the season, the winner of the SK Network's SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic in 2021, Kim Hyo-joo by one stroke over So-young. We will be heading down to the 18th green now as we begin the final round award ceremony. Well, a trophy to add to her collection, a sharp green sports jacket, a check for 144 million won, and when she lays her head down on the pillow on that Tempur-Pedic mattress, she can dream about winning another title here on the LPGA Tour of Korea, her second of the season, her 19th professional win of her career. She is the world number 11 for a reason. She showed it again here this weekend on Jeju. A remarkable performance over the 4 rounds. And a champion again, just 26 years of age. What a performance from her. We are down to just 2 events in this 2021 season. We are staying on Jeju, but heading north. Next week, we will be at Elysian, Jeju, just at the steps of Halasan for the 15th S-Oil Championship. And we'll wrap the season up at La Vie Belle, the SK Telecom ADT Caps Championship 2021. Another exciting, entertaining, and all-around great weekend on the LPGA Tour of Korea, capped off by an amazing performance by some of the superstars and best characters here on the LPGA Tour of Korea. I want to give a big shout out to our entire crew, our producers at Media Pro and Spock on the English World Feed side of things, and everyone else who brings this event to you. We couldn't do it without you, so a tip of my cap to you. My name is Adam Jenkins. What a pleasure it was. We will leave you with this. Kim Hyo-joo, the putt to secure the championship, one for the career highlight reel. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you when the calendar flips to November for the 28th event of the season. One final time, on behalf of everyone, I've been Adam Jenkins. This has been the SK Network's SEOKYUNG Ladies Classic, the 27th event on the LPGA Tour of Korea. Our congratulations to Kim Hyo-joo. So long for now. We will see you next time on the LPGA Tour of Korea.